I have to say I've been using AI for a long time. Since it's started becoming a norm in the industry back in 2023, we actually integrated it into our application for some usage for people to be able to identify their needs into our platform. But the agentic AI is something totally different. Um, I've started a number of companies from scratch, so fully understand what it takes to build a business in terms of the resources you need, the people you need, the skill set that you need. And if you're lucky and all of them come together in a harmonious way, you have a winning business. And if any of those lags, that's when businesses crash and burn. So um, I've been pleasantly surprised uh, with what the agentic AI that you delivered to us can do and the limits of it. I haven't found any limitations to it. I've been using it from different perspectives. We used to have a bigger team managing, for example, our marketing aspects. Um, every task from product description to creating manuals to newsletters to uh, publishing posts requires human beings sitting down with a lot of creativity to be able to put it together and get the work done, which two things are involved with that. Number one is it becomes human intensive. Number two is costly. Number three is it takes time. So if it would take us a week for our marketing person to put out a collateral uh, for one of our feature sets, with agentic AI, that takes like 5 minutes. That's a big difference, huge difference.
Orders of magnitude change. Yeah.
Huge. I mean, ever since we deployed, we used to struggle with publicity in terms of public posts, etc., because it's a creative content and it takes time, and the right person has to sit down and write it, and the right person has to be able to look into the industry pain points of the day, so the post is relevant and it's important and it's catchy and the user wants to look at it. Now I've set it up with my agentic AI in a fully automated fashion. It writes a post every day. It's instructed to go and look and see what the hot topic of that particular industry I want them to post, what the hot topic of today is, write it with that in mind, have the other agent double check it to make sure there is no hallucinations or wrong data, and all of that gets documented. I receive an email the day before with the draft of what's going to get posted the next day. And I have it built into my email that I can just one click, I can have it rewrite it or change the writing of it, just right from the email. I can get it done. And if I don't do anything, it's posted the next day.
So before you brought in an agent team, that's a great example of what it looked like running Xira or maybe one of your past businesses in the marketing world and developing marketing content. Give me another example. Before you brought in an agent team, what did running Xira feel like day to day in another area of the business? What did that look like?
Well, there are different aspects to it. So let's just stick with the marketing, for example. And then we'll get into developments and the code structure and all of that. With the different elements to it. From a marketing and go to market perspective, the challenge is which is time consuming, is to be able to create your content, identify your market, reach out to them. These are the time consuming ones, which time consuming tasks are expensive and requires the right resources as well. As I said, every piece of literature we wanted to put out or every report we wanted to put out would take time, would take days or sometimes weeks to produce it. Using an experienced individual who's had like 20 years of experience in that field. With agentic AI, it takes minutes, literally minutes. And the quality that's put out is very different than the quality that I can get out of just a regular Claude app, for example. If the regular Claude app is a fifth grader, my agentic AI is a master's degree or a PhD degree student. So it's very different in terms of what you receive as a quality. Now, that's just the marketing aspect of it. I can get to the code aspect of it.
Yeah,
Building
talk to me a little bit more about the code aspect of it too, and jump to that.
as part of our platform, uh, we developed our platform in Eastern Europe with a company that had meticulous experience in building codes, but at a fraction of the cost of building it in US. And as I built the platform and designed it, it has a number of feature functionality in it, which is part of the platform. Now, one of those features happens to be billing. And although that platform has multiple levels of different types of billing, I always wanted as a pet project to create a billing app that allows the small guys to be able to invoice and bill at ease on their mobile handheld devices. As a pet project, I said, let me see what's involved in building an app using my agentic AI. And I can tell you, I pretty much replicated my billing app that was built on Xira with agentic AI on a different server, fully functional, interconnected with all the hooks from Stripe payments to webhooks to everything, just like all plugins from different angles. And all of the work was done. All the refreshing, the code implementation on the server was done by the agentic AI. And I literally spent about 20 hours putting out that app. Now, if I isolate what I paid for that billing app before, I probably spent about $150,000 in Eastern Europe.
Well, Reza, you have a lot of business experience. I'd like to go back to how we got here, because Xira is not your first entity. It's certainly not the first company you've worked with or for. Can you give me a little bit of background of how you got to Xira, what you built before this, companies that you ran, how they turned out, just a little bit of your background?
Sure. So I started Xira a few years ago as a platform that provides a back end tool sets for small professional businesses. Prior to Xira, I was the chief operating officer of a $1 billion global company called Coriant in the fiber optic space. We ran that company for a number of years. My job as the COO was to always optimize costs and improve the quality of service we provide to our tier one telecom supply providers across the world. We sold that company back in 2018 and did the transition and exited out, and that's when I started Xira. But prior to that, I've started a number of startup companies all of them either in technology or telecommunication. And just like any person that's a serial entrepreneur, some of them crash and burn, and some of them become really successful. I'm happy to say a number of those companies are still in business. Some of them, after 30 years, are still in business and working well. So a lot of experience with bootstrapping and trying to build something with very little resources.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure this isn't the first technological change you've seen in your lifetime or career. You've worked with, I'm sure, countless outside consultants, vendors, different software providers. What was it like to build this with us? Talk a little bit about the quality of what got delivered and tell us how this maybe compared to a lot of the other experiences you've had with other software providers or technology that you've integrated into some of the other businesses that you've been a part of.
So delivery of software, and I've been part of this for a very long time, from a vendor's perspective, is always a very tricky one. And it's usually very bumpy. especially when you are at the leading edge of a technology. What has been a very pleasant experience with you guys has been the fact that from the first moment throughout the process and delivery of the product, um, everything was done very professionally, very smooth, no hiccups, and well documented, well executed. And that's a breath of fresh air when you deal with especially with the software company.
Well, thank you for that. That's always our goal, of course, but it's nice to hear that. You had made a comment a while back. You called this agent team your secret weapon, and I'd like to hear that maybe in your own words, expand upon it a little bit, and tell me one specific thing that it does for you now that you couldn't do before. Why is it your secret weapon?
The level of capability it gives you is unbelievable. I mean, not something that I would have imagined 6 months ago possible. It's a secret weapon because it's still the overwhelming majority of businesses are not using it. So we still have a leg up for a while. And my intention is to make the most of it before others catch up. And it's our secret weapon because with a very small team, we can put out the amount of content, code, development that was never possible before. So that's where the secret part of it comes.
Do you think that you run a small team, and with this agent team now, do you feel like the agent team saves you time, or is it letting you do things that you couldn't do before, or would you say both? And what's more
Both.
important to you?
Absolutely both. Actually, it's not saving me time as golf time or tennis time because I'm working much longer than I did before. And the reason for that is when I say working, it's pleasurable type of work. It's not work that you don't want to do. But the reason of it is that your abilities are enhanced to a level that you don't want to stop. It's as if if you're a runner and they give you a pill and you can run a marathon where you never thought you can. Trust me, you're not going to stop running every day.
It's empowering, I think.
Yes.
I feel sometimes our agent team gives me superpowers and I can do more, and that's motivating. I'm glad you feel the same way. I, where are you with the agent team today? Are you running it yourself, or are you still leaning on us in order to help support you in doing and being able to accomplish what you want with the business?
I think we're fully sufficient right now and in running it ourselves. We don't need you guys at the moment, unless you come up with new feature sets or new agents or agent capabilities that could benefit us. But pretty much we're on ourselves, and we can manage this.
So if you talk to, I'm sure you have a large network with the business experience you have. When you're talking to another founder of a business similar size, early or small to mid-sized businesses, and they may be on the fence about whether this is the direction that they want to head. There's so many options out there with AI providers, software consultants. It feels like you can't turn left or right without seeing AI in your face these days. But if they're on the fence, what do you tell them?
If I was opening another company just today, from grounds up, that's the first dollar I would spend into an agentic AI platform. Without it, don't waste your time, don't waste money.
And why? Maybe in short, why do you feel that way? Why would it be your first move?
Because it's the wisest investment in any business. It's a game changer. You will enhance your operation or your staff by multiple folds, and cost a lot of savings in your cost as well.
Well, those are some super kind words. I appreciate the support you've given us, Reza. You're awesome. And
Thank you.
I am certainly wishing you guys the best, the best success that you can have with Xira and the other ventures that I'm sure you'll have your hands into. And the thing that brings a smile to my face is that you're happy. It's my number one goal. Whatever that means to people for having the agent team, I want our clients to be happy with it. And I don't think that there's any better testimonial I could possibly have than somebody coming here with the business experience you have and telling me that it would be the first dollar you'd spend if you started a new company. And I hope that you actually mean that. It wasn't just for the interview.
No, I definitely mean it. I definitely mean it. And you guys have been awesome throughout. Really appreciate the support.